What are you doing? I thought you said we were going on a hunt. No, I said a bug hunt. We're gonna hunt for insects. Come on. Well, sorry. Welcome to another Sandia Mountain Natural History Center quick trip. Today, it's a little bit of entomology. What's entomology, you ask? Insects. Let's go on a bug hunt. To go on a bug hunt, you don't really need a lot of equipment. All you really need is your patience. But if you are going to have some equipment, there's a few good things to have. So, number one is a net. And this is obviously for catching insects. So we got our net. Some sort of jar so you can put your insect in the jar and be able to look at it. These have a magnifying glass on the top. This has a funny name. I believe it's called a pooter. But what you're going to do is walk up to an insect, tiny insects on trees, and you suck in on one side and it'll capture it in this jar. If you're going to keep your specimens as part of a museum collection or something, you're going to want a killing jar. It's also a good idea to use a sheet. We'll demonstrate this a little bit later, but you catch things in your net and then shake the net out over a sheet, and the insects will be exposed on that white surface so you can see them. And we're also going to set up some pitfall traps. We'll show you how that works, but just a cover and a couple cups will work for that. So why don't we go out? Oh, and I actually forget what this is called, but we put this under the tree and kind of flap it, and insects will fall on that. So why don't we go out and go ahead and get started. All right, so there's a couple ways to do a bug hunt. We can do an active search. That's where we're going to use a net to try and catch bugs. Or we can also do a passive search, and that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to set up what we call a pitfall trap. So a pitfall trap is real easy. We're going to dig a hole about the size of this cup. We're going to set the cup in the ground, and then we're going to put this lid over it. And insects will walk under there, fall in the cup, and we'll have them trapped. So let's get started. Holy smokes. Just a tiny bit more. Okay, once you get your hole about the depth of the cup, you're just going to set your cup in there. Take your dirt.
Put it back in around the cup. Try not to get too much dirt in the cup.
Then we're just going to set our top over it and wait a couple days, and we'll see what we catch. Okay, we're back, and it's time to see what we found in our pitfall traps. So let's go ahead and take a look. You do want to be very careful taking the lid off. We're going to gently pull our cup out, and looking down in here, we do have a few insects. So what we're going to do to get a better look at them is we're going to carefully try and get them into one of our viewers. There we got one. And we'll take a closer look at these creatures a little bit later. Okay, there's another real big guy in here. we're going to be a little more cautious with him. This one that we just caught is a darkling beetle. The other one, I'm not sure. Okay, our second pitfall trap was here in the sun. So again, we're going to very carefully, ooh, and we have a few more darkling beetles, but we have a really interesting specimen in here that may be dead. But we want to be especially careful with this guy. We have a large centipede. So we're going to be especially careful. We're going to put him in that jar. We'll take a closer look at him in a few minutes. Our other specimens are a couple more darkling beetles and some ants, so we're going to let them go. Now we're going to do our more active insect hunting, and a lot of people think you just run around like a crazy man with your net, see a bug and try and catch it. But that's not actually what we're going to do. We're actually going to use this sheet and our net together. And all we're going to do is go around and sweep the plants on the ground. We're just sweeping those plants on the ground. And then kind of hold it. And then we'll head over to our sheet and dump it on the sheet and see what we found. So we'll just shake our net out. And yeah, we've got a few specimens. We've got this green spider, there's another spider, some little hoppers, some aphids, anything you see moving. Here's a inchworm. Here's some sort of stick walker. I don't know if you can see that. So just that little bit of running around the ground with the net, we found a whole bunch of insects. So a similar method can be used using this tool, and this is used to catch insects on the trees. So all you're gonna do is kind of tap on the trees, and things are gonna fall into and then we're gonna shake out on here. And actually, doesn't look like we caught anything. That's why it's called an insect hunt, not an insect catch. Okay, this is our darkling beetle under the microscope. A lot of people call these stink bugs. They do have a defense where they shoot out chemical out their back. One of the interesting things about these is mice actually like to eat these. They'll catch them and they'll jam them into the sand, and then they'll eat the head part off and leave that toxic part that makes them a stink bug. They'll leave that part behind. This is the centipede. You get bit by one, you'll know it. They're very painful. This is either a squash bug or an assassin bug. Both are a type of plant bugs that live on plants. Here's that green spider we found. Really have to do some research on this one. No idea who this guy is, but I appreciate him holding still for us. You might be able even to zoom in a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed today's bug hunt and this episode of Quick Trips, and I hope to catch you on the next one.